Kiara. I got my boys taking a bath in the background, so hopefully we can get through this together. A couple things. First of all, for your chart, I see that you were using your column B when you were trying to work on the chart. You want to highlight through your customer names. So I'm in A4 through A10. Then I'm going to let go of my mouse. So I know you can't see that right now, but I do not have anything pressed on my mouse. I now am going to hold down my control key on the keyboard. Then I am going to highlight through my cell G4 through G10. That allows me to select non-adjacent ranges. They are not next to each other, and now I can manipulate those. So now I'm going to go to my chart. So insert, and let's go over to my chart. Alright, and I'm going to click on this down arrow, and I believe it's the 3D bar chart. And I'm going to go ahead, and you can see if I cover over it in the background, kind of gives you a display of it. And I'm going to click on that, and that gives me now their names as well as their data, their new balance, if you will. I'm just going to move that aside, their new balance. We also need to move that to its own sheet, so we're going to do this here. And I believe it wants to be called bar chart. Don't quote me on that. You can look at the directions. Bar chart and choose OK. That now goes ahead and put that on its own page. But you really want to have your data first. So I'm going to drag that over to the left. I'm down here in the bottom left hand corner. Going back to my bar chart. Now you're going to want to manipulate the chart title, some of the background colors and stuff like that to make the chart look a little bit more appealing. I'm going to go back to my accounts receivable now. And you do want to work on these formulas here, and I'll show you how to do this pretty quickly, and you can do the rest. So I'm back on my home tab. I'm going to go to my auto sum, and I'm going to go ahead and click on the down arrow because I don't want to add those up, but I do want the maximum, the highest, if you will. So here's my maximum, and now it also runs through the total cell, and obviously the total would be the maximum on every row, so or column. So we don't want to do that. So if you see, I'm in the white plus area right now, and I'm not pressing anything on the keyboard, but now I'm going to go ahead and press my left mouse button, and I'm holding it down actually, so that way I can drag through the rest of the column that I need. So it's just the customer's data and not the total. And I'm going to go ahead and press my enter key. I'm going to do that with lowest as well, but instead of using maximum, I'm going to use minimum. And again, I am going to press my left mouse button and just drag through the data that I need and press my enter key. Last but not least, I'm going to do that for average. And again, we want the correct data to average, so I'm just going to highlight through these and press my enter key. Now I'm going to highlight that range of those cells that I have, and you can see that I have a white plus in the middle of my screen. If I scroll down to the bottom right hand corner, that white plus turns into a black plus. That's your fill handle. I'm going to click now. I have my left mouse button pressed. I promise you I do. And then I'm just going to drag through the rest of the columns and then let go of my mouse, and it autofill. That's my fill handle, and it fills those formulas in. And if I go to this row here and look at my formula, I am working in column D, as it is here. I have my maximum in D, my minimum for D, my minimum for E, and G, or excuse me, F, and so on and so forth. So go ahead and work on that for me. Last but not least, these are for, you want to use your conditional formatting. So I want you to change your formatting for these two, F4 and F9. Take that off, and you want to, I'm just going to give you a hint on this, you want to use some conditional formatting here. Now again, we did this in our lesson, so you may want to look back at that to figure out how to do this, but this is where you should do some conditional formatting. If your condition hits a certain criteria, it will change to that color. So what do I do when I go to grade these? I simply come in here and I type in 16 because it wants a certain number to be over it. So I know 16 is that. When I press my enter key, that should change to a red background with the white font, and yours does not. So you do want to update that. And I'm not going to go any further on that. You can do some research in your textbook. I'm going to undo that to go back to the 154. But looking at your formulas, let me turn those on real quick. For your service charge and your new balance, you did awesome on those. You summed up everything really well. Your formatting looks great, and so everything looks good. If you could please go ahead and make those updates, I hope that helps. That will really help you out with grading. And get that back to me ASAP. I'd really appreciate it, Kiara. Have a good one.